Good evening and welcome to Small Home Comforts. Tonight, I thought we would chat about a book stack of August hopefuls. So, I've got a nice stack of books here that I thought I would share with you that I'm hoping to get to this August as on my TBR, or as I like to say, hopefuls for the month. So, I think we'll get started with that. So, if you are here in the comments, I would love to say hello. Tell me you're here. I am going to get some technology going here. So, the best place to watch live is on YouTube, but I will also be on Instagram and Facebook. I do not know how much longer I'll be on Instagram, but for now, we're going to keep going as long as they'll let me. So, I had previously received an announcement that I wouldn't be able to go on Instagram, but they're not stopping me. So as long as we can, we'll keep on going. So like I said, if you're here, I would love to say hello in the comments. Welcome. It's Thursday night here in the book corner at Small Home Comforts, and we'll settle in for a nice cozy chat. So I'm here with my tea per usual. So if you'd like to let me know what kind of tea you are drinking, mine tonight is a strawberry vanilla tea. It's a Harney and Sons. I know I've told you about it before. I bought it because I thought that this was such cool packaging. I thought it was so pretty, with the birds and the strawberries and the red and the green together was so pretty, a little bit of pink. I tried it as brewed as a hot tea and didn't love it as a hot tea, but I have been drinking it iced this summer and it is so delicious. I'm loving it. So if you're going to drink that, I recommend it as an iced tea. So hello, ladies. Mary's here. Welcome. Nice to see you. Hi, Mary. And Karen is here. Hello, Karen. Nice to see you. It's always so nice to settle in with you guys. So I'm glad you're here. Let me see if it is. Oh, it does say it's on Instagram, so we shall see. We shall see. Allison is here. Hello, Allison. Welcome. Nice to have you. Karen is drinking a raspberry zinger tonight. Yummy. Raspberry is perfect for late summer, isn't it? Sounds delicious. All right. So I thought that we would talk about August hopefuls tonight. So some books that I'm looking forward to reading in August this month. So thought I'd share with you a little stack tonight. Rebecca is here. Hello, Rebecca. She just finished a cup of peach tea. That sounds perfect for the summer as well. Lovely. Oh, I love it. I love it. We've all got such good summery drinks. Raspberry and peach and strawberry I've got here tonight. So awesome. Kelly is here. Hello, Kelly. I don't know why it shows up like this. It just, I think it's an emoji that shows in words. So, but Kelly is here. Hello, Kelly. Nice to have you here. All right. So I'll start. I'm just going to start right from the top of the stack, and we'll dive right in. So my first book tonight is Summer at Fairacre by Miss Reed. Miss Reed is having a moment in my life right now. You know, when you see something for the first time or you just start to notice it and all of a sudden it pops up everywhere. That is how the Miss Read books are for me right now. So I have started noticing this, not necessarily this one, but just in general, a whole bunch of Miss Read titles popping up all over the place, and I am not complaining about it. So Miss Read is having a moment for me. So this one is Summer at Fairacre, and I thought it would be a fun one to read in August during the summer. I found this at a secondhand bookshop when I took a little trip over the spring. Stopped in at a bookshop, stopped in at a couple bookshops, of course. But the used bookstore that I found, they had a whole bunch of Miss Read books, and this was one of them. So this is a penguin in this cute little penguin edition, nice summery cover. So this one says in the back here, her gentle and amusing approach to rural pursuits and the unassuming absorption that she finds in the fascinating details of a small community are as effortlessly conveyed in this, the latest of the Fairacre Chronicles, as in her very first book. For the initiated, Summer at Fairacre, with all its familiar and well-loved characters, will prove as delightful as ever. For the new reader, the world of Fairacre will prove a fresh and enduring delight. So I have been finding Miss Read to be just delightful. I'm not reading them in order, so I don't know if I'm supposed to or not, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like you can kind of maybe skip around a little bit. This one was published in 1984, so I think this is one of the later ones because I think they started in the 1950s. So, but that is one of my August hopefuls for this month. So, first on the list. All right. Next, I have, of course, my August pick for my year with Georgette Heyer. So those of you who have been here for a while know that I am reading one Georgette Heyer mystery book a month for this year. At the beginning of the year, I kind of explained why I was doing that. I don't know if I touched on that recently. So just if you're new here, I'll just kind of give you a little backstory. I like to have kind of a string that goes through the year with one author. So I did this a couple years ago. Somebody else hosted a year with Jane Austen, and I jumped in on that one and I loved it. So we read all six of the main novels. Um, we took 2 months for each novel, and it was just so fun to read through an entire series of works by the same author over the course of a year, and just kind of compare and see the differences, the similarities, and just to kind of sit with that author through the year. So that was just such a good experience. Something that somebody else hosted that I thought, you know what? I would like to do that again for the following year. So last year, the books I picked were the Betsy Tacy books by Maud Hart Lovelace. And I chronicled my read through the year. There were 13 books there. So I just 1 month, I doubled up on some of the shorter ones. But other than that, I read one a month through the entire year. And I did a blog post on each one. I had read only one or two Betsy Taces at that point, so they were new to me. And it was just delightful, again, to spend the year with Maud Hart Lovelace. That was last year. So this year, I wanted to pick another read through the year with one author. And I was thinking, who do I want to spend time with? And what, for one, has 12 books or somewhere similar, something like that, that I could read within the year to kind of separate it out over months. And Georgette Heyer, I kind of wanted to do mysteries, and Georgette Heyer happens to have 12 mysteries, which worked out perfectly. So I am reading one Georgette Heyer book a month for 2025. And I'm reading them in publication order with the exception of Envious Casca, which is a Christmas themed story. So I just put that one in December. I bumped that out of the lineup and put that at the end. But other than that, I'm reading them in a publication order. So for August, this is No Wind of Blame. And I'll read the little synopsis on the back. Wally Carter's murder seems impossible. Not one of the suspects was anywhere near the weapon at the time the shot was fired. The superlatively analytical Inspector Hemingway is confronted with a neglected widow, the neighbor who's in love with her resentful daughter, a patently phony Russian prince, and a case of blackmail that may or may not be at the heart of this most unusual case. So that is that one for August. I do a blog post on each book at the end of the month. And at the end of the year, I will rate them from my most favorite to my least favorite. And we'll talk about it then. So there have been some just knocked out of the park wonderful books from Georgette Heyer. There have been some that have not been as favorited by me personally, but Georgette Heyer is always great fun to read. She has just such humor, such delight. And these are all cozy mysteries. A lot of them, they're country house mysteries. This one particularly says a country house mystery. There are different publications have different covers. So this is one of the country house mystery publication ones. So a writer of great wit and style, it says on the front. So just so much fun. I'm looking forward to this one. I love to look at this little, if I can get this without a glare on it. There we go. She's got, the hunting gear on. It almost looks like it's in the winter. So I wonder, maybe August is not going to be the right setting for this seasonally if you're a seasonal reader, but sometimes that doesn't bother me. Publication date for this one is 1939, originally published in 1939. So you can see the 1930s clothing there and stuff. So So fun. I'm looking forward to that. You'll be hearing more from me as to what I thought about that one. So, Marilyn is here. Hello, Marilyn. She says she has the Miss Read books, but on Kindle and hasn't read them yet. Yeah, like I said, Miss Read is having a moment in my life. I just keep seeing her pop up all over the place, and I'm enjoying so far. I haven't read them all either. Um, I've just read maybe 2 or 3 of them, and so far I'm liking, what I see. So Claire Elizabeth is here. Hello, Claire, and Miss Read is her favorite. Lovely. So much love for Miss Read. Um, I am delighted to be spending time in Fairacre, and I haven't read any of the Thrush Green series yet, as of yet. I have one on my shelf, but so far I've stuck to Fairacre, looking forward to, Thrush Green at some point as well. So I am excited to read some more Miss Read. All right. Next on my August hopefuls is Return to Gonaway by Elizabeth Enright. So I read Gonaway Lake for the first time in July, just this past month, and it was delightful. I loved it. I loved it so much. It had been on my radar for quite some time. And I don't know why I never got to it because I love Elizabeth Enright. I love her Melendi series. They're some of my favorite children's literature. And for some reason, it took me some time to get to um, Gone Away Lake. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I got the next one because I thought, you know what? I'm going to do that. And Jen from Jen's Reading Life also wanted to read Return to Gone Away. So we are going to be buddy reading this together this month. And I will be sure to let you know. How it goes and whether I like this one just as well as Gone Away Lake. I think I read Thimble Summer maybe a few years back and wasn't as I seem to remember not being as thrilled with it, but it's kind of hazy in my memory. So that may have been what kept me from reading it for a while. But I shouldn't have let it keep me away because it was marvelous. It was just marvelous. So I am really looking forward to Return to Gone Away. And of course, this is makes for wonderful summer reading, not only because it's set in the summer, but also there's just such, I've talked about this before, such nostalgia in reading children's literature, kid lit, during the summer, especially when it's a series. That's how I feel about that. So, um, anyway, Return to Gone Away. And I'm sure I'll be reporting back because if it is as marvelous as Gone Away Lake was, I'm sure I'm going to love it. So, Elizabeth Enright, one of my favorites, one of my very favorites. So, bless your memory. That's Lori, right? Hello, Lori. Welcome. She's reading her first Georgette Heyer romance tonight. What's the title, Lori? I have a bunch of romances over here. I love Georgette Heyer's romances too. They're so funny. They're reminiscent of Jane Austen. She has them set, some of them are in the Regency period, some of them I think are in the Georgian period. Her mysteries are set in like when they're coming out. So they were kind of contemporary at the time of her writing. We're going back to this one. Um, this was published in 1939 and I believe was set in that time period as well. So her mysteries are a lot more, I'm going to say contemporary, but I mean to her, contemporary to her, not to us currently at this time. But her romances are historical, and I just love the period setting. I love the little details. It makes me feel like I'm reading Jane Austen, but not, but something, like if you love Jane Austen, here's something else that kind of can keep you in that same vibe. It's not exactly Austen, of course, but oh, she's reading Arabella. I have heard such good things about Arabella. I'm trying to remember. I think I did read that one. This seems to be one of her most popular, Arabella. So, ooh, you'll have to let us know. You'll have to let us know how it goes. Marilyn says that the books on Kindle, those are the ones that are going to get her started for the Miss Read series. So Marilyn's diving into Miss Read as well. So lovely. Ah, it's so great to talk to other people about the same kind of books that you're reading, right? Because then you have all sorts of like, you can tell your opinion and they can tell you theirs, and you get so much more richness and depth from that. So lovely to have kindred spirit readers. So, um, All right. Anna Rose is here. Hello, Anna Rose. Welcome. She's just started a new Jeanne Birdsall book. Jeanne Birdsall wrote The Penderwicks right here, which Anna Rose is saying. I just heard about this one tonight, or earlier today. I mean, I'm blanking on the title, but I just heard about her new book from Faith Elizabeth Huff's Instagram post, and it sounds lovely. It sounds delightful. I'm going to have to add that to my TBR. I'm blanking on the title right now, but I did notice that today and it sounded just wonderful. So, all right. I am going to save. So I have one title here that I am saving for last because I'm also currently reading it and I want to talk about it just a little bit more. So because I've already started in, so I'm going to save that one for last. So I have one more before I talk about that one. And this one is the last one of the Emma M. Lyon series by Beth Brower. Jen's Reading Life has been hosting a read along all year. And August is volume 8. So I kind of fell behind over the spring. I didn't mean to, but I was so busy that I couldn't keep up. At the beginning of the summer, I read Emma M. Lyon for like a solid week straight. I think I told you guys this. I finished 3 books in 5 days, and I just couldn't put it down. And then at the end, that was at the beginning of June. At the end of June, I picked up book 6, and as soon as I finished it, I was going to take a little break, and I was like, nope, can't take a break. Gotta go right through into volume 7. So I read that right at the beginning of July, but I saved this one for August. So I will be reading this one along with Jen's Reading Life and all of the lovely people there who come to those lives. She is going to be hosting a live discussion of not just this book, but um, all of the volumes. That's the word I'm trying to say. So as kind of a wrap up at the end of August, and she's going to have some guests on there. So we're looking forward to that. So here's this, and that is on my TBR for August as well. I am looking forward to that. These books just draw you in. They just oh my gosh, they're eminently readable, shall we say. They're very hard to put down. And I know that once I start it, I'm probably going to have a hard time putting it down. So I have to be in the right place in the right time so that I can just um, go right through the whole thing. So these do have to be read in order. So if you haven't started this series, I do recommend that you read them in order. Um, you just kind of have to know the progression of events. Otherwise, I don't think it would make much sense. So this is the longest one for sure, by far. So we shall see how long it takes me to read it because, like I said, eminently readable. So, Anna Rose is talking about the book from Jeanne Birdsall, The Library of Unruly Tresures. So if you are looking for that one, as I will be, um, that is the title of that. I'm looking forward to it. It sounded wonderful. It sounded really wonderful based on the description that I saw. So, adding that to my TBR. Lori said that she finished Baby Island. I love Baby Island. I haven't reread it recently, but I remember being enthralled by Baby Island when I was young, and it was just such a lovely book. It's about 2 sisters who get marooned on an island with 4 babies that they have to take care of. And it was just like it sounded like a dream come true. Like, oh my goodness, the parents aren't here. We have to save the babies. We have to take care of them until we can get some adults to help us off this island. And, they had to use their ingenuity and their resourcefulness in order to be able to survive on that island with those 4 babies. And it was just like a little mothering thing. I just remember loving it. I loved it so much. So awesome. 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 Marilyn's been reading Emma as well. 10 pages a day. How can you How can you stop at 10 pages, Marilyn? When I pick it up, oh my gosh, I have to just keep going and going. One time I think I stayed up until 2:30 in the morning reading one of these. I just couldn't put it down. She wishes she could journal like her, and now you're trying to read Shakespeare because of the references to this one. I think we're gonna have such a good discussion, Marilyn. I am looking forward to Jen's hosting this at the end of the month. It has just been delightful to talk to you all about this during her lives, and I'm really looking forward to that one. So, all right. Okay, I have one more on my stack here that I want to share with you. I am also currently reading it. So, um, uh, I have been waiting to read this book since last year. I saw it recommended by Sally Clarkson, who I don't know if you ever listened to her podcast. She has like a Tea Time Tuesday podcast. She has several lovely books that I enjoy. And she and her daughter, Sarah, often recommend lovely books to read. And she recommended this last year. I can't remember where I saw it, whether it was on her social media or in her podcast. It might have been in her podcast, Tea Time Tuesdays. I think her podcast is called At Home with Sally, but Tea Time Tuesday is her one where she talks about, things that she's doing with her family, or, the teas that she's drinking, or the recipes um, that she's making, or the Bible verses that she's reading, or the travels that she's going on. And it's just little lovely delights to listen to. Anyway, she was talking about this book. I'm keeping you in suspense. She was talking about this book, and she said it was wonderful to read during the summer. For some reason, I was thinking particularly August. I can't remember, but I've saved it from last year, and I finally am reading it this year. And this one is called Keeper of the Bees by Jeanne Stratton Porter. Look at this! Look at this cover. This is a library cover, so they've got their, like their stuff all over it. And sorry, it's kind of a glare, but look at how pretty this cover is. Isn't that nice? Um, I am I have been looking forward to this for the whole year. I started it over the weekend, I think. And I'm trying to see, I'm not too far into it just yet, but Keeper of the Bees is a story of a young man who fought in World War One, and he was injured, and he came back to America as he's of Scottish descent, and they keep referring to um, something about how the Scottish, I couldn't quite pick up on it, but something about how the Scottish people were affected very harshly by World War One. And so as a American of Scottish descent, he was one of the volunteers. He went in there, he was helpful, and then got injured and is sent home. And he's feeling at the beginning of the book a little bit disillusioned. He's having a hard time healing. He's having a hard time reacclimating to civilian life. And so he starts off on a great adventure, is what it's saying. And he ends up, so I haven't gotten that far into it, but he ends up coming across a house. And you know me, if there is a house in this setting that plays any kind of significance at all, I'm there for it. So there is a house, and it just was such a lovely description of the house. I'm gonna see if I can read it to you because it just was lovely. But he comes to the house and he's enchanted with it, and I am just to the point where he's becoming he's helping the owner of the house. So I don't want to give too much away, but and I haven't even gotten that far yet, so I don't know that I could give too much away, but that's kind of the setup for this. And I think we're probably going to go on a journey with him through his healing, from what I understand. So I'm going to read you just a little description of the house here that I had to stop and read like twice. I had to read this twice, and this is going to be my third time as I read it to you. Down the road, only a few rods on the right, he could see a small house, and of all the houses that he had ever dreamed about and thought he would like particularly to own and to live in, that house appealed to him as the most inviting. It stood close to the road. A white picket fence ran along the front of it. A neat white gate shut it from the highway. Its painted face was soft and attractive. New England was obvious all over it. Flowering vines were climbing up its corners and over the tiny front veranda. Outside the gate, he could see a circle of crushed shells, and he thought the walk that led to the front door might be made of shells. It seemed to lie very close to the road, and there was not much ground on either side of it. All that there was seemed to be filled with the very flowers that Jamie had helped take care of in his mother's New England garden. He could see hollyhocks as high as the eaves of the house, and in many colors. To the left and to the right, he could sense the gay hues of nasturtiums and zinnias and marigolds, and his sensitive nostrils could pick up the tang of heliotrope and mignonette and forget-me-not and violets. But above all else, he had the impression of a cloud of blue, sweet, restful blue. Isn't that lovely? Oh my goodness, it's a garden. And of course, with bees around, it's a beekeeper's garden, and it's actually set in California, but he's talking about all of the New England type of flowers. So I think that's probably why it's a summer setting, but, oh my goodness, so far I'm loving it. Sometimes, sometimes you want a little bit of, in your I'm struggling for words here. I feel like sometimes in your reading life, you are more in the mood for, like goofy, or more in the mood for maybe romance, or more in the mood for something a little bit more that has a little bit more depth. And it's seeming to me that's kind of where I feel right now that I'm at. And it's seeming to me that this here is going to have depth and it's going to have a lot of heart in it. And I'm really looking forward to continuing this one. As the month progresses. So that is my last in the pile. It is also my current read. So I would. Oh, so here, let's hear. Here we go. We're going to. You guys have been talking in here. So let's see. Anna Rose says she loves Sally and Sarah's book, The Life-Giving Home. Me too. I love that one. So many good ideas in that one for creating a wonder-filled home. Just lovely. And she recommended this book. So Anna Rose says, what a lovely addition. So Allison is telling us, about what her current read is. I'm going to come back to that, Allison. Marilyn is saying that she just ordered Keeper of the Bees from eBay. Marilyn, we'll have to compare notes. I'm loving it so far. So I hope you do too. I hope the whole thing is going to be wonderful. So far, it has been just lovely. So Allison is sharing. Something that she just finished. So let's segue into what we're currently reading, and we'll start with Allison. I'm going to take a quick sip of my tea here I've got this ring light over here to kind of, I'm in a dark corner here in my home. And so I put this ring light up to give more brightness, but it's also very hot. So I'm going to drink some tea. Let me know in the comments what you're currently reading. I would love to hear. I would love to share. We're going to start with what Allison just told us about. So she just finished a great book that she thinks we'd all like. Doorman Wanted by Glenn R. Miller. Henry's father dies, leaving him an inheritance of millions, including a condo building in NYC. Continued. Hold on, I got the next one here. He's uncomfortable with that wealth, so he ends up becoming the doorman in disguise. Ooh, I love this. It's all about the characters, wealthy and not, that he encounter. It's very uplifting and comforting. Allison, this is lovely. I'm writing this down. I always have a little notepad here in case you guys are telling me what to read. So I'm going to go back to this one so you guys can all write this down on your TBR too if this sounds like something you would like. Doorman Wanted. I've got to look this up because it sounds so fun. Glenn R. Miller. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Allison. We're all going to have to look that up and see um, how we would love that too. Thank you for sharing that one. Awesome. Claire Elizabeth said she just finished Agnes Grey. It was amazing, and she couldn't believe she had never read it. Agnes Grey by one of the Bronte sisters. Is it Anne Bronte? I'm trying to remember. This is my Bronte book right here. Let me see if I got it right. I think it is Anne. I was right. Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte. think that I read that back in the day, but I can't remember it. So that is wonderful to know, everybody. Agnes Gray is amazing. So Mary is reading All of a Kind Family. I love All of a Kind Family. That is such a good one. And there's so many sequels to that one. So if you love that one, there's so much more goodness to discover after that. But All of a Kind Family is just so much sisterly love, so much time at the library. There's just a lovely traditions, family traditions. That's such a good one, Mary. I love that one. Awesome. You for sharing that. Anna Rose is reading the third Mallory Towers book by Enid Blyton, and also just finished The Loveliest Middle Grade Waiting for the Magic by Patricia McLaughlin. I don't think I've read that one. Patricia McLaughlin is Sarah Plain and Tall's author, right? So that one's got to be good. Enid Blyton is on my list of authors to read, and I haven't gotten there yet. I have a couple mysteries of hers on my shelf. So she is someone that I really look forward to reading more of. I think I remember my aunt saying she loved Enid Blyton reading aloud to her kids. And I think Miranda Mills talked about her as well. I think they have like school stories or something. I'm trying to remember. So you guys always have the best recommendations. Claire Elizabeth says, yes, it's Anne Bronte. That's awesome. Allison, going back to Glenn R. Miller, which is the Doorman Wanted, says that he's a Minneapolis author. She thinks it's mostly available locally, but you could order it online anywhere. Lovely. It's so good. I love when you guys share these things. Oh, Marilyn is reading The Martha Vineyard Beach and Book Club by Martha Hall Kelly, set on the island during World War II. Very interesting. Submarines right offshore. I love one that's a good one that's set in World War II. That sounds lovely. And right on the coast there too. And of course, anything with book club is good, right? That sounds so good, Marilyn. Karen just finished Mr. Hobbs's Vacation, French from the Country, or Fresh from the Country, excuse me, and That Darn Cat currently. How is That Darn Cat? I love that movie. That is one of my like all-time favorite Disney movies with Haley Mills and Dorothy Provine. And it's just so funny. I've watched it so many times, and every time it comes across the screen based on a story by, I want to read it, and I never have. So, oh, Karen, I want to know how it goes. Let us know next week. Oh no, not next week. I forgot. There's an announcement about next week, so we'll come back to that. But next time we get together, Karen, I would love to hear how That Darn Cat went. Marilyn said she also started a series by Alexander McCall Smith. The first book is 44 Scotland Street. And then she's also starting Fresh from the Country as well. You guys are both reading that one. Lovely. I don't know that one, 44 Scotland Street. I know the author, Alexander McCall Smith, from the Detective Lady, the number one Detective Ladies one. I remember him from there, but I don't know this 44 Scotland Street, but I like the sound of it. It sounds so good. You guys always have the best recommendations. I love it. I love it. I'm going to have to write all these down. Martha Vineyard Beach and Book Club, Mr. Hobbs's Vacation, That Darn Cat, Fresh from the Country. These all sound so good. Oh my goodness. Ah, I love it. Thank you for sharing. All right. Oh, wait just a minute. We have some more over here. I was not looking. I didn't see anything coming through over on Instagram, but I do have a couple over on Instagram. So Books with Samantha is here. And Librotique Barbara Wright. Welcome to both of you. Barbara has from talking about Jean Stratton Porter, she has Girl of the Limberlost and Keeper of the Bees, both on her shelf. Books with Samantha is reading The Tides of Time by Sarah M. Eden. Oh, I don't know that one, Samantha. Tides of Time. That's hard to say if I say it too fast. Barbara from Librotique just finished Lady Living Alone by Nora Lofts. It's a British Library's women's writer book. It never disappoints. This one was a complete surprise. You start out thinking you are reading a furrowed middlebrow book, and then it takes a turn that she did not see coming. She says it's so good. So I can't put that one up because it's on Instagram and not on YouTube, but I'm going to read that to you again. A Lady Living Alone by Nora Lofts, a British Library women's writers book. So thank you for that, Barbara. I love these, you guys. These are so lovely. I love seeing all of the book recommendations. So, okay, quick announcement before I let you go. I will not be here next week because next week is our live discussion. So if you are a subscriber to the Small Home Comforts book box, you know that in every box, I include a live book club discussion of the book that was in the box. And we've just finished the Moffats. We're finishing it this week. And we will be having a book club meetup to talk about the Moffats next week. So I will not be here because I will be hanging out with all of my book box book club members to talk about this lovely book that we've been reading this summer. Um, so don't look for me here next week, but of course, we'll still be in touch. I always send out a weekly newsletter. So that comes out Sunday morning. So we can keep in touch there. You just go to smallhomecomforts.com and sign up for my emails. You can get a free book list downloadable if you sign up for my emails. And then you get the weekly Sunday newsletter that gives you links for everything that's happening around Small Home Comforts during the week. And then if anything's happening in the shop as well. So thank you so much for the overwhelming support for the new offering that I just put out, which is a settle in with a story blind date with a book concept. Your support has just been overwhelming. Almost all the books, I have a couple, but almost all of the titles sold out within, a very short amount of time. And so I have new books on order. So if you were eyeing something that said out of stock, check back in a few days. The books are on their way to me. And as soon as I have them in my hands, I will relist them and they will become available in the shop again. So, I just so love the support that you guys gave me. I'm so grateful to you. As I was wrapping all of your books and sending them out earlier this week, I just, I had to say a prayer of thankfulness for so much love and support. It meant a lot to me. So thanks for being here. Allison says, will the replay be available? You don't think that you can make it to the live discussion for next week? Yes, for the book box members only, for the subscribers only, I will make the replay available as a recording where I will send that out via the subscriber email that goes out on Sundays because, it was part of your box. So everybody needs to be able to have access to that. That is part of what you get as a subscriber. So if you can't make it live, you will. If you are a subscriber, you will have access to the replay. And of course, since you can view it on YouTube, you can again, it's a private group, but you can add your comments afterwards. So like if you have something that you wanted to add, but you can't make it live, you could always email me beforehand and we can talk about it during the live discussion, or you can write a comment underneath and we can continue the discussion there. So, Books with Samantha is talking about her book over here, Tides of Time. It's a romance. And she needed the fluffiness of a romance. That's what we were talking about before, right? Sometimes you're in the mood for different things. So, all right, book friends, it has been just lovely hanging out with you here in the book corner on Thursday night. I love having you. Thank you for taking the time to hang out with us and have a cup of tea and chat books. And we will look forward to seeing you the next time we're here. Have a lovely night. Good night, all.